I am resident of Collingwood for YouTube. Jules Sands, there's my buddy Patrick McCrae, there's my buddy Alan Glenn. We're here to review Star Trek II, The Wrath of Khan, directed by Nicholas Meyer. Screenplay is by Jack B.
Spaghetti.
Seward. Uh, Story by Harv Bennett and Jack B. Seward.
Harv or Harvey. You can say Harvey. Some people.
Harv. It's
Yeah.
Harv. Yeah.
Produced by Robert Solon. Cinematographer is Gain Reacher. Let's see, music is by James Horner, so not Jerry Goldsmith here. Okay.
Yeah, he
Uh,
was busy and they couldn't afford him.
I believe the busy part. Maybe not afford.
Oh,
Uh,
yeah. Oh, Horner was a deal. He had only done one movie prior to this.
wow.
And so he was a UCLA composition professor.
Well, the budget on this one was only 12 million.
Yeah.
So, but the box office return was 97 million. So they got their money back for sure.
He did.
Of course.
Somehow they made their money.
Guys, we talked about like the importance of the original cast coming back. This time they have a villain from the original series,
Mhm.
and they bring back the very actor who played him, Ricardo Montalban. How big of a deal? Because something I was thinking about today when I was rewatching this was continuity and consistency. How important is continuity, consistency with the movies going sort of following the series here? Because it's a big deal.
It's really what we're talking about is audience appeal at
Yeah.
number one, because obviously you want it to be commercially successful. So this is going to be highly identifiable to those who are fans of the show. And there are actually many. One of the weird things is there are many more fans of Star Trek in 1982 or whenever, right,
Mhm.
than there were in 1968.
Oh, yeah.
Way more.
Oh, yeah.
So you
By
already have a
many degrees.
broader audience, and they've all seen it. They've all seen the Botany Bay, the Space Seed episode with Botany Bay and all that stuff. They've seen it all, and they immediately are going to recognize what's happening here. As soon as they come across the abandoned, underground lair on Alpha Ceti 5 or whatever, and it says Botany Bay on one of the containers, it's like the whole audience knows what the hell's going on, or at least 90% of them do.
Well, the audience had the advantage that the characters did not, and that they got to see the poster coming in. And,
They did.
and the title
But
of the movie.
I mean, to most people who only thought of Montalban as Mr. Rourke,
Oh, yeah.
really kind of hard to recognize him with all
But
the weird hair.
he dispels any of that
Yeah.
workism
Oh yeah.
immediately.
Oh my God. Yeah. There was a great story that Nick Meyer told about directing both Montalban and Shatner. And he said he's been asked this 100 times, but he basically said that Shatner had so many Shatnerisms that he basically and since he was the star, it was very difficult. He didn't feel like he could approach him and be direct with him because he'd get defensive. Because these were Captain Kirk things that he developed over the entire series, plus the animated series and all. So his delivery, he had it all figured out.
Well,
And
plus a lot of time not playing those
right,
characters and thinking about it.
right. And so what Meyer did, instead of like going loggerheads with him, which would have inevitably happened, um, he said, I'm going to bore him until he makes different choices.
Yeah.
And that's what he did. He just did take after take after take. He figured out, he said one of the jokes he told was, this is the first time he did it and he decided he was going to do it. He said, that was great, Bill, but we didn't get sound. Did we? We didn't get sound, did we? He turned around to the sound guy and just, wink, wink, nudge, nudge. And he did that like for take after take. And after a while, he said, Bill figured it out and just kind of shrugged it off and dropped it and just
Yeah.
did it. But
Yeah.
with Montalban, he was completely, he was kind of intimidated because the guy has a resume this big. I mean, it's just huge. And he wasn't sure how Montalban was going to take it. So he has him do the scene where he's, it's one of the scenes where he's ranting and raving, and Ricardo does it at full cry, does the whole thing at full cry,
Mhm.
and Nicholas goes, can I visit you in your trailer here in a few minutes? I want to talk to you about something. And he goes to the trailer and he goes, okay, here goes nothing. And he says, look, you've probably heard the old axiom. If you start here, you got nowhere to go.
Huh?
And Ricardo looks at him and cocks his head and looks at him. Oh, you want to direct me? And then he just says, thank God. So I need it. I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
That's what I'm gonna do the things I know how to do, but I don't know if this is gonna work or not. So yes, please.
What a dream of an actor.
Yes,
I think you can take, as long as someone has a good mechanism, and that means their personal character as well.
Mm-hmm.
If you bore them with enough TV where the director is just going to point where you stand because he's too busy with the lighting.
Yeah, or the sound or whatever other problem he's got going on.
To direct you. I mean,
a lot of directors are that way in film too. They're very technical. They're worried about the lens.
Yeah.
Whatever.
I'm paying the actors a bunch of money so they can make these choices, so I don't have to.
Right.
And that's a rotten director.
It's problematic for actors.
Oh God! You're not going to catch Sidney Lumet doing that.
No.
But so there you go. I mean, to have an actor who wants input and wants to collaborate, oh my God, died and gone to heaven.
Yeah, and I think, to be fair to William Shatner, he took the hint. He figured it out without, having to lose any face over it. And I think that probably Meyer did the right thing, right approach for him.
And Shat, at that point, had not done a lot of features, but he had done a lot of TV.
Tons of television.
And, that's...
Hit your mark and give us some Shatner.
Yeah.
That's the kind of stuff.
And, and give us some Shatner on a screen that will, at best, make your head the size it is in real life.
Right, at best.
No larger. Yeah, and no larger.
And in the 70s, about half size.
Yeah, yeah. And so all of these tricks that you're doing, all of these things that you're doing are going to overwhelm a film audience.
Yeah, because it's like the size of a building inside of a movie theater.
And you can't give that kind of, set of readings.
Right.
With that in mind. It's not going to work.
Thing is, he modulates it really nicely, and in the next few movies he does as well.
Yeah.
But you still get that Shatner touch, so to speak.
Yes, and he doesn't do that even when yelling Khan so loud you can hear it outside the moon.
Right. He still holds still when he's doing it.
Yes, he does.
There's at least a physical restraint to it.
Yeah. It's not like Lance discovering his coffins had been defiled in the Dan Curtis Dracula. He's swirling around and bellowing, and the bellowing sounds like he's breaking wind. It's a very funny moment.
It is, because he is probably breaking wind. Did you see the dust blow off the crypt behind him?
Right. His cape billowed. Yeah.
So I thought that was interesting, and the dynamic between the director and the two main actors in the whole thing works because of the approach.
Yeah, and of course they're never on screen at the same time. In the movie, there's never a two-hander.
You're right.
With Khan and Kirk.
That's right. Even when he sees him on screen, he's not in front of the screen. You don't see the two together.
Yeah. I don't think those scenes have been filmed yet because they had to modify the set pretty severely to make it the Reliant.
Hmm.
And I think they're not going to want to do that every day. It's not parallel time.
No, but I will say they did a fantastic job with the sets,
Oh
considering the
yeah.
budget was not gigantic.
Well, the story was when they brought in Harv Bennett, uh, Barry Diller, Michael Eisen. One of them came up to him and said, "Harv, let me ask you a question." And Harv had been the producer of, I think, Incredible Hulk, $6 Million Man,
Mm.
or Bionic Woman. I know he'd done that. Is it Harv? Could you make a Star Trek movie for less than $50 million? The exact words.
Yeah,
He said, "Barry, I can make 10 movies for that." He said, "You're hired."
that was a little bit of a rich promise, but nonetheless,
Well, it's more like
I
about
think
5 movies for that. But
he got
yeah,
his point across.
he did. And you know what? If they had asked Art Bennett to make it for 5 million, he would have made it for 5 million.
He would have. You're right. He would have. Might have been an animated feature, but
Well, consider what he was coming from.
Mhm.
Where they still weren't
Television.
spending $1 million an episode at all.
television. Yeah, no. Yeah, they hadn't broken the million an episode barrier at that time. I don't think that happened in the '90s.
What is that? No, that was Star Trek: The Next Generation, and,
Uh,
and then The Flash.
oh
Was a
God.
$2 million an episode
Yeah.
series.
Yeah. So late '80s then.
Yeah. And what a show The Flash was.
Yeah.
I thought it was very good. John Wesley Shipp, Louisvillian, was fantastic.
Mhm. So after the release of Star Trek: The Motion Picture, producer Gene Roddenberry wrote his own sequel. In his plot, the Enterprise crew travel back in time to set right a corrupted timeline after the Klingons used the Guardian of Forever to prevent the assassination of JFK. This was rejected by Paramount Pictures executives, who blamed the bad reception and costs of the film on its flooding pace and constant rewrites on Roddenberry.
Well,
Yeah.
they were actually just afraid that Oliver Stone would sue them for his,
Yeah,
his fabulous
yeah. So,
ideas.
you guys mentioned Harv Bennett. Harv Bennett here, a new Paramount television producer, was made producer for the next Star Trek film. According to Bennett, he was called in front of a group including Jeffrey Kaisenberg and Michael Eisner, and asked if he thought he could make a better film than the motion picture, which Bennett confessed he found really boring. When Bennett replied in the affirmative, Charles Fludum asked, "Can you make it for more than less than 40?" Like Patrick was saying.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Charlie Bloodhorn.
Oh
Yeah.
my
Very
God.
European. Can you make it for less than $40 million?
Mm.
Yeah.
I can make it for 6 Krugerrands.
Yes, much
pretty much.
less. Guys, what did you think of the plot here? I mean, it's really, really good. It's mud. It's a lot better plot than the first film,
It's a
obviously.
masterpiece
Yeah.
of film economy and film structure. It is absolutely a textbook. You can take this thing, take it apart, put in generic Mad Lib type descriptors for the different segments of the movie and what they accomplish, and you give it to any screenwriter and you turn out a wonderful film.
Yeah, that's the whole thing. The screenwriting is really good. It enables the actors and the director to really propel the story forward and make meaning out of it. And so it's got some good stuff. Obviously, the source material is very helpful, and the fact that we're also one of the things that the director did was I think it was the director, it might have been Roddenberry, I'm not sure, handed when they brought Ricardo Montalban on board, they handed him a copy of Moby Dick.
That was Meyer.
Okay, it was Meyer.
Yeah.
Yeah, and said, "Read this. This is your character."
Yeah.
And it's that obsessive pursuit of vengeance.
Well, he quotes from Moby Dick.
Mm-hmm. Yep, that's right.
Yeah. Now in a weird about way, they kind of remake this movie in a sense. much later on, obviously.
Star Trek Into Darkness.
Yeah, and in the darkness. What were you guys' thoughts on that film, sort of versus this one?
There's no comparison in my mind. This film is ambrosia. That film is not.
Yeah,
Absolutely not.
I'm okay with it.
It's not. It's not terrible. It's just not this film. It's
Yeah,
not.
oh no, not by any stretch of the imagination.
No.
Though, this is what I liked about that movie. I was touched by how much this film, on some level, meant to J.J. Abrams.
Yeah.
That he would put
Sure.
those elements at all in there
Sure.
means something. I mean, he
Sure.
was
It means
tone deaf
it's,
about it.
I mean,
but
this film has inspired a lot of people, I think, in filmmaking.
yeah,
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I get what they were going for in the remake. I mean, sure. You have betrayal, obviously, on the
Mhm.
Federation side.
And,
That's okay.
and
I can
obsessive
buy
vengeance on the other side.
an obsessive vengeance. No, there's like it's like a two-sided coin, and neither
Yeah.
side is good for the good guy, which is Kirk.
I mean, the chemistry of that conflict is good. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I just
Yeah, it
didn't think
is.
they pulled it off quite as well as they did in this movie. For sure.
No, I think they pulled off better here because it's like I
Because Ricardo Montalban.
well that too, but I think the bigger reason they pulled off here is a I buy Paul Winfield, great actor. He doesn't.
Absolutely.
I feel he at times doesn't get enough credit for his performances. And you got Ricardo Montalban, who just, I mean, dude, he was that character.
Hmm.
I mean, no offense to the guy who played Sherlock Holmes and
Benedict Cumberbatch.
Yeah, Benedict Cumberbatch. I mean, he's a great actor. Just
It's just a different. I mean, every actor is going to have a different take on it. And Montalban made the character his own. He played it twice. Like 15 years apart. But it's his gig, and he actually comes back with an even stronger performance the second time.
yeah, definitely. What's some of you guys' favorite scenes in this movie?
Oh God, good Lord! I mean, again, Joel, this is one of those movies you can pick any scene, and I can come up with a reason. I really like the two-hander between Dee and Bill on his birthday. I really like that scene. It's just quiet and contemplative, and it's the first time the franchise has ever slowed down long enough to just take its breath and let these two guys sit there.
And the theme, one of the many, there's several themes in this movie, of course, but one of the main themes is getting older, mortality, and dealing with that as, particularly through Kirk, his thinking of himself as I've been sitting behind a desk, and I just had a taste of being on the bridge again. Why am I not doing that now? I need to do it again. I need to do that again. So yeah, it's aging, but raging against the dying of the light kind of thing. Big time. And that happens throughout several of these movies. With the whole thing with the glasses and doing that whole thing where he gives him 400-year-old glasses, and of course he breaks them eventually.
It's one of his first things he does. He puts them on the desk and they shatter. And what an ironic moment, and what a colossally sad.
Well, because he really needs them. He's trying to read and he can't do it. It's like
he does.
And
there was a lot of heart in that.
Yeah. Absolutely. That's one of the things this movie did. It really started to develop really strong emotional connections between these characters, even stronger than they had been in the series. And some of them have been pretty strong in the series, but the series is also sort of literally compact, 1 hour episodes and all of that sort of thing. And plus it's a smaller screen. So the gestures aren't quite so big emotionally either.
it's an extraordinary film. You know, we go back to the construction, and I can tell you that it is the single most emotional experience I ever had watching a movie before or since. And I was 11, and these things did not happen to characters.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it didn't happen to characters on TV, and it just didn't happen. It's like Ibsen says at the end of Hedda Gabler, oh, good God, people don't do such things.
Mm-hmm.
And whereas Ibsen meant it satirically, uh, you know, Meyer didn't. And I, you know, it was really my first time to contemplate mortality and aging in a way that I could access. You know, as I've been dealing with these characters weekly my whole life. And I did not show emotion. I was with my father, and I thought this is a test of being grown up.
Hmm.
And I mean, wow.
Yeah.
The stoicism that I was forced to project.
Or thought you were forced to project anyway.
Yes.
The pressures
Yes,
are
of course.
real. The pressures
Of
are real.
course. Was one of the most athletic things I've ever done. I mean, it took every ounce. And for the next few hours, it took every ounce. But I
Mhm.
remember my father's reaction because because the movie is such that, I mean, you know, there's the death,
Yeah.
and then there's the, you gotta come down here.
Yeah.
You better hurry.
Yeah.
Which later in life, when you've been in those situations
Mhm.
where someone has said, you better hurry.
You know what it means, right?
Yeah. And you instantly hit this entree into the adult world. And you know, the most painful part is Kirk did hurry.
And it still was too late. Yeah. Which is life sometimes.
Yes. And he got closure, but what an excruciating form of closure.
Right. The thing is, I went to see this in the movie theater, and I don't remember how that landed on me when I saw it all these years ago. But when I just saw it yesterday, I was blubbering like a fool. You know?
Sure. You know, so there's that, which has in its blocking so many great moments. For instance, it's clear to the audience that Spock is blind.
Yes, because he's like reaching.
He
like
can't.
this. And then the whole thing where they go down together.
Yeah, he
You know?
bumps into the transparent aluminum or whatever that thing's made out of, and that they both are together, and it's Kirk's body heat that I think is the last thing.
Yeah. That and the sound of his voice.
Yeah.
Well, then you've got this, you know, funeral, and Shatner is so controlled, and Scotty with the bagpipes, and oh God!
Yeah.
And then it opens up onto the planet.
Yeah, you see the whole thing, and when I saw it the first time, I thought, are they toying with us now?
But then the movie just becomes an emotional, you know, Tina Turner's husband, Ike Turner, and you're just Tina, and
you
it
get
just
the shit beat out of you.
It's like Nicholas
and then
Meyer.
It's a cliffhanger, and you have to wait 18 months,
well,
or 2 years,
not
to
just that.
See what happens.
Well, we go back to the ship. Kirk breaks the glasses. And then David shows up and tells him he's proud. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh. And then Kirk goes on the bridge and feels young. And I think that meant actor Burt Young, who was just out of shot. And
they kept a couple of sides of beef right out of the camera. Yeah.
But, you know, I mean, that is just
after
this movie and after the thesis that the movie very theatrically sets up. I mean, Eugene Scribe would have been proud
Mhm.
To have that as the ultimate denouement. And then Nimoy doing
Narrating the last coda. Yeah.
and you go to the planet and you're given a little hope, but you're just devastated. And then
Yeah.
that amazing James Horner score, which you got to sit through again with the closing credits.
Yeah.
And I remember turning to my father when it was all over and the ushers are sweeping up the popcorn boxes. We were silent for a long time. And he said, I think I'm going to throw up.
Mm.
He didn't.
Mhm.
But that's a huge emotional
Yeah.
confession. That was a big thing. And so we just went to a local Italian restaurant and sat in a lot of silence, broken by enthusiasm about the movie,
Mhm.
followed by shame.
In the marinara.
Oh, it followed by shame for the price that
Yeah.
we paid for the good time.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had this good time, but he's dead.
Yeah.
That was a hell of an experience.
Yeah, and I remember, and I did the same thing yesterday. I remember reminding myself, I do remember this, reminding myself, holy fuck, these are fictional characters. What are you doing?
But it just is a testament to how, sometimes a writer is able to pick up on something, or writers, that's bigger mythically than the project that contains it.
Sure. Plus, you relate to them as human beings
Yeah.
or Vulcans, whatever.
And I
Human
think,
aspect.
Roddenberry and Gene Kuhn and DC Fontana basically created the characters. Really tapped into something heavy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Is Spock's death on screen the biggest character death in movie history? You think?
It certainly is the most dramatically rooted in the entire structure of the story.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I mean, this is really built, take this and put it against Generations,
Mm-hmm.
Right.
where there's no goddamn reason why Kirk has to die, except they wanted it.
Yeah.
And this is a case where, Meyer was given the order to kill Spock. And so he made the entire movie about that.
Mm-hmm.
Certainly the story, the theme, and the story as structured can't survive without that. And then talk about, commanding a starship is Kirk's best destiny.
Right.
And not his.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm gonna say it is. I mean, it's the biggest ever. Like
It has the most potential effect on an entire arc. Because there's the television series and the animated series, and now we're a couple movies into the film series, and they're we're gonna cut it off. We're gonna cut our hands off. What are we doing?
Yeah.
And so it's incredibly impactful. Yeah.
My favorite scene is the funeral sequence. I think it's well shot. Scott at the bagpipes, obviously. The coffin being shot into space onto the planet.
Yeah.
Really
For me,
good.
it's the scene that happens before that, and that's when it goes from all this chaos and conflict and action into this very quiet farewell
Yeah.
that's going on. And
I would have cut to the infant Spock lifting the truck over Glenn Ford.
well, that music that they came up with for the film series, which ended up, of course, being the theme for the Next Generation, is so super.
Two different pieces of music.
Yeah, but they're very similar. They're very similar. Very similar.
Yeah.
And it's very Superman-esque. It's
Oh yeah.
it's in that same thematic universe.
Oh, you could easily swap the scores. And
Yeah.
it'd be fine.
Yeah. So
Scale 1 to 10, what do you guys give the movie?
47.
Yeah, numbers don't even apply. They just don't. They just don't. I mean, Jewel, I think this may be the second time you and I have talked about this movie. And I still, I could prattle on, as I often do, for an unsavory length and still not capture or describe everything good about this movie and how it works and how it operates and how deep a set of cuts it really feels like it is.
And what a great setup it is for the next film.
Oh, films. Now,
Yeah.
I got to say, even though Wrath of Khan is technically a better movie, Star Trek 3 is my favorite of the films.
I'm more emotionally connected to Star Trek 3.
I love that movie. It is an epic of hope.
Yeah.
And we don't see that very often.
Mm-hmm.
And it does something which I'll save for tomorrow whenever we do it. It does a really unusual thing. And it does it better than any other movie I think I've ever seen. I'll tell you what that is tomorrow or whenever.
Yeah, tomorrow if you're available. You guys are good for tomorrow.
Sure. Absolutely.
Okay.
This is also, I believe, Nimoy's directorial debut.
It sure is, other than a few episodes of T.J. Hooker.
Right. And he does a fantastic job, I think.
He's great. He's great. And it's a perfect first film.
Mm-hmm.
It's in the studio. It's very controlled, and that's a good thing.
He's got a really good editor too.
Yes.
Yeah.
There's a realm.
So yeah, this movie, to me, this movie's a 20. It's so good. Go watch it if you own the Blu-ray. So, is there anything you guys want to add before we go?
No, really not. I think we covered the generalities of it anyway. No, pretty well.
I mean, you could do. I say this boastfully, but you could easily do a season of a podcast just about this movie, about deconstructing it.
You can deconstruct it scene by scene, arc by arc, character by character, the whole thing.
Filmmaking element by filmmaking element.
Right.
It's
yeah.
I was very lucky. I got to meet Nicholas Meyer, and I talked to him about my experience with this movie as a young man, and about how it was my chance to learn about mortality. And he gasped and he burst into tears. Good tears. Yeah. But I don't think he often takes a few steps back and thinks about the
effect and
impact
quality of his work. Yeah.
And then I think, in the back of his mind, every writer wants to be the last word on things, and to be the first and last word on something like mortality on a young person who comes back and finds you, 30, 40 years later is really something.
Yeah. Yeah.
When I first watched this movie, I never thought I'd see, I mean, everybody read Moby Dick as a kid, but I'd never thought I'd see a character more obsessed with another character as Dr. Loomis was with Michael Myers. Until I saw this movie. And how obsession and what you're wanting to destroy what you're obsessed with so bad, you don't care if you destroy yourself.
Right.
It is a Buford T. Justice level of dangerous obsession.
It is.
Yeah. Every way too. They do out Moby Dick too. That's the thing, too.
I mean, that's the whole reason he handed him the book is this is thematically what we're dealing with your character, Ricardo.
Technically he outdicked him.
Yes, he did, with a flip of his white tail.
Yeah, we got to talk about that Klingon makeup in part 3.
It's getting there. I really think that they were ahead of the curve on Klingon stuff in these.
They pretty much settled it by that movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll talk about it tomorrow.
Sounds good.
The acting is good. The acting's good. But
There is a classic Shatner moment. It's the "I've had just about enough of you" moment.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
That
Oh,
is
wonderful.
so. I mean, the pauses are built in with action, so it's kind of cool. It's really good.
Yeah. I do love. Well, I'll get into it when we talk about it tomorrow.
Yeah.
But yeah, link to Patrick McRae's Dark Shadows Daybook Unbound is going to be in the description box. Link to Alan Galan's YouTube channel. Colin's Port After Dark will be in the description box. And link to an all new chapter of Nightly Business is going to be in the description box. Hope you guys check it out. Have a good night.
Take care.
Take care. Bye.